Hello, everyone. Welcome to Popcast Live. My name is John, and tonight is another Jurassic World night. Oh, hey, we got Andrew and Chris in here. Holy bucket. How's it going, guys?
Back again for the sequel that no one asked for, kind of like Jurassic Park.
Pressure into getting on here, so.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yep.
Look at, he's got a shirt, you've got a hat. Like, together, you're almost a complete Jurassic person.
I know.
Yep. I think you're dismissed until you find Jurassic Park pants.
Oh,
yeah.
Challenge accepted.
So I have my this is my like Ranger Jurassic
Yep.
thing here, and then I do have Jurassic pants, but I'm not. They're like sweatpants, pajama pants kind of things. So
oh, come on, gymnastics the heck out of your legs and show us.
Oh, I'm not wearing them.
Dang it! Come on, John.
It doesn't go with the rest of it. No, but yeah, they're really cool. But thank you for being here, Chris. It's been a while.
Yeah, you bet.
I'm gonna be interested to see what has compelled you to make it on for this particular occasion. It's like immense hate or immense love, or
not to spoil it, but it's peer pressure.
Yep, it really was. I basically just said, I'm setting up a chair for you. You're coming.
Okay, nice. Okay, well, we should have Mike coming yet too, so we'll get him in here when he does show up. But I want to let everybody know, like normally, so this is Popcast Live. Normally, these go live on YouTube, Twitch, and X, and that's where it lives. Because we can kind of do whatever we want. We can show different things. So sometimes it's a little more visual or whatever, and it wouldn't necessarily work for just an audio audience. So, but we'll see if that doesn't occur here, because I don't like our podcast community not catching up on our Jurassic World review as well, but we'll see. So if you're listening to this later, then it's just a special treat. You get the Popcast Live in the podcast feed this week. So, but let's see. Chris, are you on a separate topic real fast, just because I'm thinking of it, and I might bring it up as well with Mike, something different a little. Are you aware of my Batmobile collection that's growing here?
I am unaware
of it.
I know.
Okay.
Like life size, or do you?
No. I'm getting all these different. I don't know why I started. Like, just all of a sudden, I'd look in
Because it's
stores
cool.
for every like
Yes.
Batmobile I could find.
So like Matchbox style car, not like
Yeah.
action figure kind of style.
Right.
Got it.
Do you? And so, just while I'm like showing
like that one.
some, and I have you
Mhm.
here, do you have a favorite Batmobile?
Oh man, I have. I mean, I had the. Oh gosh, it was the Batman Returns, right? That's the one with
Keaton?
No,
Kilmer?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Batman Forever.
The Batman Forever. Yeah,
That's
Batman
the good
Forever. I had the Batman Forever.
one.
If I remember correctly, I had the Batman Forever vehicle as a kid that I played with, and it was the like black frame, but then it had like a blue radiant colored engine area.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
that was I mean, beyond that, I mean, unless you're going all the way back to the West iteration.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, that's the classic one, but like,
Mhm.
that's probably the one I'd pick because that's the toy I played with. I had a lot of Batman
Okay.
figurines that I played with. So,
That's good. Yeah, I have two of those, but
Yep.
none of them in movie color. So there's the
Got it.
silver one,
yep,
And
that's
then,
I recognize it.
and then this one. I guess this is pretty close. It has you won't be able to see it here, but it's got a little of the blue way up front and stuff. So
Mhm,
As I recall, there was on the actual action figure item, there was like some sort of like lance or something that would that could shoot
Oh.
out.
yeah,
Some sort of hook of some sort. Because I think that's the movie where it climbs the wall because he shoots up the wall. Is that true?
yep.
Yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
So that's what it was meant to imitate.
One of the more realistic sequences in a
Of
Batman.
course, yeah. It's average weekend escape.
Do you ever feel
Yeah.
like Fast and the Furious director Justin Lin must have just been like watching this stuff to
Probably.
see
Maybe.
like the boundaries of non-reality he could push for
So-
car stunts?
So you're telling me that he passed on the grappling hook and went for the like
Bridge
leap
jump
over 9 bridges?
or like the 2 towers in Dubai.
Yeah.
Totally realistic.
jump the shark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say I've stopped watching that franchise years ago, so I'm really not caught up.
We watched the one after Paul Walker died.
Oh, that
and,
sucked.
Like, we saw some of the other ones, but we were never really especially interested
No.
in any of them after that.
Mm-mm.
Sure. Okay, well, that aside, let's talk a little bit about Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. We had an episode a little while back that was kind of, because
Mhm.
Andrea said she'd just been rewatching all of them,
Mhm.
kind of leading
Mhm.
up to
Yes.
this new one. And Chris, did you manage to catch a bunch of those as well, or?
Yep, we did.
Oh, yeah,
we did it together.
Okay.
Although we really focused on the newest ones that we hadn't seen.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Right.
couldn't remember after Jurassic. Oh gosh, what's the first one with
Jurassic World.
just-
Yeah.
Just
yeah,
plain
just
that
Jurassic
one,
World.
Yeah, after Jurassic World, like we saw that, and then we continued past that because we had kind of forgotten what movies were there, and we'd only seen clips. We never saw them in the theater.
Well, yeah, and I told John I definitely conflated the two.
For sure, for sure.
Mhm.
We watched them in quick succession. So
No, like in thinking back, I thought that there were only 2 movies,
Oh, yeah,
and I
yeah.
somehow like imposed the title of one on the plot of the other,
World
and just like completely forgot that they were 2 separate movies.
Mhm.
So then I got the nice like treat in. I mean, you can air quotes it if you want, but treat in the third one of seeing the original cast members come back because I didn't remember that at all.
Right.
So that was fun.
Chris, do your views vary at all from Andrea's on the Jurassic World movies? How does your
Oh, I'm
opinion
sure they
on that
do.
trilogy sort of fall?
I mean,
Like,
so you mean which ones do you mean? You mean Jurassic
So-
World?
yeah, World, Fallen Kingdom, and Dominion.
Yeah. I mean, I think. I guess I don't know all of Andrea's views. I'm sure they'd be similar. you'll recognize like my perspective if you think about like what Andrea shared on the podcast about like Lord of the Rings and Hobbit. Like we like them, we're interested, we're always gonna watch them, but like I'm a little bit more nostalgic about Jurassic Park. So I give a little bit more latitude in some spaces. But I think I do that generally when I think about sequences of films. Like I do that with Star Wars. I'm more forgiving because there's just so much of my childhood tied up in it, and so
Yeah,
I'm willing to look past some of the like. Yeah, I get it. Also, like it's cool, and like I saw Jurassic Park when I was 5, and I went to the movie theater on my dad's shoulders. So like, screw you guys. Like it's fun.
Yeah, he gives way more latitude to the newer Star Wars and the newer Jurassic Park than I do.
I don't. It's not like I don't see all the criticisms. It's just like it's more of a exercise in nostalgia than it is like I'm looking for a movie to thrill me. Like I knew what I'd get going into those films, and I got it, and that was enough.
Okay.
So
yeah, the that's interesting. The nostalgia never translates for me. You know, like I get when I'm literally because it was a few years back, Ashley and I went out west for a quick trip, and in the town, it was in Rapid City, they had their theater, and it happened to be playing The Lost World again.
Oh, sure.
And so I'm like, oh my God, we're going to that. That's got to happen. And that was great. That was nostalgic. It was in, I had seen it originally in the theater.
I thought you were about going to tell me that Lost World wasn't okay for you. I'm like, damn, John.
No, I defend The Lost World a lot more than others, I think.
I do too. That's one I can look past a lot and actually call like an authentically solid effort.
Yeah, I really just don't prefer the end. I don't like them coming to San Diego.
San Diego.
Okay. Yeah.
But
50-50 shot.
Than that.
Okay, so then would you rate the original trilogy 1, 2, 3 or 1, 3, 2?
Whoa, what?
The original trilogy.
Okay. So,
including The Lost World. Do you, I mean, I got to assume, I assume this way for most people. Jurassic Park 1 is ultimate top. So is it 2, 3 or is it 3, 2?
Oh, you mean like Jurassic World? Is that better than Lost World?
Like Jurassic Park 3. Is that better than Jurassic Park 2 Lost World?
Oh, God,
no. Okay. We're different there.
I remember 3, and like, to be fair, like it's taking me a minute to like remember that film in its entirety. But like, I actually like the setup of the storyline and like the randomness of the like a group of individuals encountering these things without background knowledge. And then like it cycles back and brings in some of the original cast. Like I like that setup of the story, but it feels a little like kind of like play acting throughout it. Like it doesn't feel as dramatic to me.
Okay.
It feels like we're going to cram as many weird encounters with dinosaurs in so that we can trigger some sort of memory you had where like they focus in. This will be part of my feedback about the newest film. Like,
well, because it's very similar.
They stuck to a story and a plot that made sense in 1 and 2, and it wasn't about like we want you to see the dinosaurs. And, like that's all we want you to do is just see these things we've created. I have strong opinions about the hybrid thing, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, see, I tend to prefer 3 because I like that setup. I think the logic of it makes so much more sense to like lure Sam Neill back there because he's underfunded on a dig site and they're pretending to have money. Like I totally fell for it the first time. I love the way that it's like we need to go there and we'll pay you money, and he's like, oh, this is so bad, I'm so stupid, but I'm gonna do it. And then it's like surprise, a rescue mission. It all of the storyline lines up for me, and I like the idea that they're just like, going in there thinking like it's going to be fine. We're going to rescue our son. He's just like right here. We know crap about dinosaurs. But I do agree with you that they do try to ram in too many like danger situations.
And I think
because it's not like a science movie. Yeah. It's an action adventure movie at that point.
For me, the thing that sticks out about Jurassic Park 3 that like stuck with me is like they introduced like dinosaurs in the air.
Yeah.
Right? Like that dynamic was like, this is really cool.
Yeah.
And it was a big part of the plot, but it wasn't all of it. Like for me, Jurassic Park 3 sticks in my memory as like the
Billy.
oversaturation of the raptor conversation.
Yeah.
It's like the movies become completely saturated by a conversation about velociraptors.
Yeah.
And Jurassic Park 2 also did that.
Yep.
And it was like, but it just became so much more about that. That was harder for me to like get on board with. And then always T-Rex pops in as like a character that matters-ish.
Yeah.
Sure.
I always remember 3 as like Billy's mistake. That's just like the focal point when
stealing the egg.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just you just know it, and you're like, as an audience member, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
I just had that like visceral like, fool.
And you're an in sequence guy, John. You're on my page.
Ultimately. Yeah. I think for the original trilogy, it's 1, 2, 3 in that order is, and it's kind of, and honestly, like kept going in that order. Like if I go into Jurassic World, then I'd put Jurassic World 4th, and then Fallen Kingdom 5th, and then I didn't see Dominion, so I guess I can't speak on that one.
I'm having Fallen Kingdom and Dominion mix in my brain.
Dominion is the last one.
Dominion's the last one, and that's the one where they brought everyone back.
Yeah.
That was the selling point there.
Yes.
And I just heard it was so terrible, and I didn't really like Fallen Kingdom, so I, busy time, I didn't make the time to go see that one.
Oh, okay. But have you seen it now, though?
Nope.
Oh, interesting. Okay. It's worth a watch. Like, for me, it was, in the sequence we watched, it was a slight improvement because I got to see the characters I cared about.
Sure. Yep.
And it is one of those things I think is benefited from watching the movies closely together, so you don't have too much time to like think about it. Like everything's still fresh in your memory, so you are carrying on this like continuation of a story. So it's just like, the next chapter is readily available, and you don't have time to be like, okay, who is this again? Why do I care about this? And you get totally separated from the movie, because I think there are already things in there that are pretty bad without you trying to add like memory recall or like, why do I care about this character? What did they do?
And also, not to pigeonhole you, John, but it has like a really interesting like agricultural like connection. Because they really talk about like, I think for me, the new, are we calling it the new trilogy?
Yeah.
Okay. Woof.
I mean,
I just like, it has a, like for me it got really tired because they just wouldn't let go of the theme park thing.
Sure.
Like,
yep.
And for me, like, that's really where they started talking about the power of the science behind genetic cloning and manipulation can have very significant non-dinosaur related effects on the world around us. And that was for me like, okay, so this is kind of like a interesting policy conversation about like, how do we think about genetic mutation as a science, which they can definitely do right now. It just hasn't been the Jurassic Park narrative. Like that isn't where they're exploring right now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, we had that initial, way back in the first one, just because you could doesn't mean you didn't, you should stop to think if you should or not. Do you
want me to give you a spoiler for this one? Like, is that meaningful or is that too much for you?
I already
gave a lot
for
of
Dominion.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. I'll
like
put
the whole like the locust piece was really interesting. Like the creation of these like super species that would essentially lead to like a corporate control of the food supply based on like them avoiding the destruction of crops made by this corporate company. And so, like, these genetically altered locusts would attack all of the
the crops that aren't like don't have the certain genetic stack. That's
right,
like,
exactly.
Okay.
Right, and so like that was like, yeah, like that's a power grab that like could logically possibly happen in a kind of this dystopian society where dinosaurs are running amok. It could also happen.
Sure.
And it was kind of an interesting piece here.
It was.
Yeah, that is interesting. Because whether it's with the locusts or not, like there's some elements to, you could imagine that sort of thing.
And that was
right.
Clearly...
It's definitely like a science fiction-y version of something that could happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this could definitely be something that could happen. It's just like we're taking it to an extreme by like cloning these locusts and then setting them free. That's not exactly how bioweapons work in a regular setting, but you get the thrust of the idea just sensationalized.
And I think they gave the audience of a lot of like science curious audience like what they wanted, because like paired alongside that they had a whole narrative about genetic human cloning and what power that could have. And then they also beyond that did the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And so like the dinosaurs were kind of saddled as an important piece, but still kind of like a one of three storylines, which I thought was a little bit more effective.
Sure. It was and it wasn't. I think there were interesting storylines that didn't get braided together until very late in the movie.
Yeah, just take on.
So then there was like this, this like ending, sequence of like all of them have now finally converged. Whoop! It's the end of the movie. Yeah. And it just like it didn't come together soon enough for everything to feel like really woven together well.
Sure.
The movies stayed kind of separate for a long time.
Okay, well, that's interesting. So let's just use that to get into this new one now, into Rebirth, because what do you think of them choosing this sort of tactic now? It's because it's interesting you talk about this sort of genetic manipulation, and now we have in this the use of dinosaur DNA to create medicine, cures, that sort of thing. Sure. And it's in, so it's in that similar territory, but seems like do you think they could have explored more from Dominion and that sort of theme going forward, or or were we like this kind of more clean break?
I've completely forgotten what illness they were even trying to cure. That's how
like
cardiovascular
disease.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cardiovascular disease. So they
sure, I remember big hearts. Yes, that's what they said.
Yes, because we need the animals with the biggest hearts because something.
Right.
Yeah, it half works and it doesn't, because obviously I think for anybody who paying attention to any genetic diseases or like the number one cause of death for people, it is cardiovascular disease. So like you picked a very relevant topic for today that people would be interested in creating a drug to solve. It would be worth a lot of money, but the actual science behind like we need these dinosaurs because X is super flimsy. I think the science was better when you were talking about like bioengineering crops and animals and pests and like that at least felt a little bit more grounded in some reality, rather than like these dinosaurs have large hearts, so we need their hearts and their blood to do stuff. It was super flimsy.
We get videos.
I mean, this is definitely my face when they were explaining the science behind why they needed these dinosaurs with giant hearts.
Also the face that Scarlett Johansson used for half the film.
Yes. Yeah, she had a lot of similar expressions.
A lot of smirking.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, Mike is here, so we'll bring Mike on in. Mike, how's it going?
Hey!
Hi.
Good, how you doing?
Good. We're really just getting into Rebirth here, so
nice.
Hit that on time. We're talking about like should they have followed along the path that Dominion set, or do we like this sort of the setup that we got with Rebirth? The kind of clean break, new thing, new excuse.
Yeah, Dominion
Yeah.
never happened. That's the best way.
To preface that, we talked through a little bit of Chris's opinions on World, Fallen Kingdom, and Dominion, and then we were specifically kind of getting into like, did the science of getting into pharmaceuticals and curing cardiovascular disease make sense, or should it have been a continuation of like, or is it more believable, I guess is how I took it, to think about like farming and agriculture and like getting into like the crop harvest kind of science and that application.
Gotcha.
And so I was just saying that like the idea of curing cardiovascular disease made sense in there is money to be made here because it's like the number one killer for men and women. But at the other side, like they didn't really have some like solid science backing up why they needed like large-hearted dinosaurs and what in the world they would actually do.
Yeah, it felt more like a video game quest.
Yeah.
Or a series of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's what's interesting about Jurassic Park as a whole is like Crichton, in the books intended for this to be a commentary, right?
Mhm.
On the hubris of man. And that kind of crap has just gone straight out the window, I think.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, and then they tried to like bring it back a little bit, but like only half-heartedly because they were kind of like, yeah, we caused this, but like big scary monster, and so I find it odd that they are trying to tread the line between the two. I wish they would go with like a story that, has undertones and real value to it. But
Mhm.
I don't think they're trying real hard for that. So then it just comes off as half-heartedly.
That's what I loved. I mean, Fallen Kingdom was an okay-ish movie, but that's what I loved about the auction scene. It was just like the height of hubris in bidding on
Yeah.
these dinosaurs and being like, it's fine. It's totally fine. This is super normal. And it's all gonna, nothing is gonna go wrong with this. We have this super under control. And then when chaos erupted, you're just like, oh, glorious karma.
Yeah. It all just feels like the next excuse for the and then, right? Like,
Right.
yeah, there's hubris to it, but man, okay, you bought an Indoraptor, right? What are you gonna do with it? What's like, what is the guy gonna do with one dinosaur? It
Die.
doesn't make yeah.
Dies what they're gonna do.
That's why it is. That's why it is the height of hubris. There's like no actual point to this.
Just
Like there's
be on
no
display.
It
You
is.
build
It's just like a
pen
weird
for
like
it and-
collection item, like a novelty, and it's just like you can't treat it like some sort of collectible. It's going to kill you.
It's like back in the day, having an
Ugh.
iPhone was a status symbol. Then having a dinosaur becomes a status symbol.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there is a bit of that, like that does kind of hang on, like in the whatever new trilogy, like the hubris of like these creators thinking they could control the science is like the overall like of the first few, and then the back is there's obviously a huge shift to like corporate corporate attempts to monetize and control, and also like in their own way believe that they have the resources to control it and monetize it in a controlled way. And it's like
I mean,
there's kind of a shift, like an anti-corporate like aspect to the 4, 5, 6.
well, and that was heavy,
There is.
honestly, in the second one, I think.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
like
Yeah,
the-
that's true.
the
That's true.
desperation
It's kind of
of
a revisited,
engines.
Right.
Yeah, like so I thought that, it was ready for a new theme at this
Yeah.
point. But
I didn't really understand what they were driving at. Like genetic mutation is this hot potato that no one can control. Like, is that essentially kind of what they're like pathed off from one weird shell corporation to another through 7 different films? It's like, okay, like we get it. Like tell us that that's the case. Like, I think that was obviously, yeah, you're right. I've kind of forgotten about the guy who gets eaten by
But-
the baby T-Rex.
Here's the thing: we need dinosaur movies. There needs to be dinosaur movies. People love dinosaur movies. Kids love dinosaurs. My kids love dinosaurs. They're gonna want to watch dinosaur movies. Is it time to just have a completely different dinosaur movie? Is that what we want, or do we want them to somehow to like, because otherwise, what do we really want them to address? Like you said, Mike, okay, so it's the hubris of man. Should we do something just because we can? We think that we can control nature and the world or whatever, and look how, minuscule we are. What's the next theme we attack with a dinosaur movie?
I just want to pause as an aside and point out to everybody that John is the guy at Jurassic World that dies because he knows it's wrong, but he goes anyways with his family. He gets picked off by one of the pterodactyls. He knows he's at SeaWorld watching the orcas, and this doesn't feel right, but he does it anyways, and that's when he dies, trying to get his latte or whatever.
Margaritaville.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what
the next deep theme should be. I didn't really want that. I felt like we've covered those different things, and I was always ready for the continuation of the Battle at Big Rock that we had, that was marketed to us as what the next Jurassic World was going to be, and then they gave us the crop crusades and crap about that. Like, we never really they touch on it. They, like, even in this movie they touch on it. They're like, hey, there's this, a Patasaurus or Brachiosaurus or whatever it was in New York, but it's dying because it can't breathe the air. It's like, well, what about all the stuff in between that? That's the thing that would have been interesting to me, is like, how do people try and live with these new creatures? I mean, these were the apex creature on the planet for hundreds of millions of years, well outside of us. I'd like a whole lot more than like a 3-year span of, well, yeah, they're getting sick now.
Yeah.
So I think the problem with that is they really focused on, when dinosaurs were like out in the wild or whatever, and in Fallen Kingdom and, much more in Dominion, we saw a lot of really like peaceful dinosaurs. Do you know what I mean? Like, we had a herd of Allosaurus that like Chris Pratt was like herding like wild Mustangs, or, you know what I mean? Or this like a Apatosaurus or Brachiosaurus, I genuinely don't remember, stopping traffic in Brooklyn. Like, that is very peaceful. That is not people having to try to live through like a T-Rex being like, what's up? Where's my lunch? You know what I mean? Like, we didn't get any of that. So we didn't have to really deal with, and even again in Dominion, this like black market, fighting dinosaur stuff, it was all very contained
into without the seedy underbelly of society.
Exactly. Without any explanation as to like how we tamped that, we as a species, speaking as if I was in these movies, but like how humans as a species tamped that down, or were able to, like, I don't know, drive a T-Rex elsewhere or something. Or like had to live through a T-Rex being like, shit, I can't breathe in New York. I have to go to the equator, but I'm going to have to pass through a lot of places before I get there. What happens? So we didn't get any of that. We got very peaceful dinosaurs like coexisting and being herded out of the way by logging companies and all of that kind of stuff.
Well, and you could play with that, right? Because, I mean, the easy answer is like, we have the weaponry to destroy these things. It's not like they're going to become a new apex predator. If we wanted to annihilate all sharks in the ocean, we'd be able to knock that out real quick. But there's a give and take, right? There are enough conservationists that you would have a riot in real life. PETA would be out of their mind if the governments were just like, nope, we got to wipe them out. They're a threat. Right.
Well, like, and we got some of that in Fallen Kingdom, but it was very contained because they were having an argument about them already on an island being contained.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So we never got an argument for like when they were actually like out and free and roaming, like, places where people live. Mm-hmm. It was very much like, we are going to leave these like very peaceful dinosaurs alone, but like, what do we do? How do we balance something that's, an apex predator, in and around people where it could be dangerous?
I was really disappointed also, and this is close to what Mike was saying, but like, I think it was Fallen Kingdom where I can't remember, somewhere in the film, like we had that interaction with like the T-Rex roaring at a lion at a zoo. It was bizarre, but like, but also like the interaction. It was always about dinosaurs' interaction with people.
Yeah.
Right. And it wasn't about like their interaction with the existing food chain in the wild.
Yeah.
Like, what the frick are these
Dinosaurs
carnivores eating?
Right. Yeah, I know. Dinosaurs are apparently bred to eat people and only people.
I thought about that because I took our kids to the science museum and it had like a diagram of like the scale of food that some of these carnivores were eating, and it was a ridiculous amount of food. It's like, so like, what does that look like for livestock
populations?
But also, what does that look like for the strain on like the existing biosphere? It's like, oh, like, well, the environment ultimately won out and murdered all these things that can only survive in the tropics. But like, that just seemed like a device. Like we didn't, like you said, Mike, we didn't see any of that development. We didn't see any of other species that were threatened as a consequence. We saw none of that.
Mm-hmm.
I have it, you guys. Love, Death,
Movie
and
pitch.
Robots. Series. It's Love, Death, and Robots, but it's all different interpretations of people dealing with dinosaurs. So like, to your point, you've got a pack of velociraptors that are taking on a cattle farmer's stock, right? And he's got to deal with that. That's like one episode. And then you got another one where like something out in the ocean, like the U.S. Navy is dealing with mosasaur.
Yeah, right.
Like,
with a mosasaur,
There was no military conversation about any of this. Just like these silent corporations with apparently like gobs of money to like. There's no intervention. It's like, hey, stay away from these islands in the tropical zone. By the way.
It's so
pack of wolves has to fight a Allosaurus.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so frustrating to me because there are so many like nuggets of interesting things and storylines to explore that are avoided in favor of other things. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, it makes a lot of sense that dinosaurs would eventually have to migrate to the equator because like that's like closest to their climate. That explanation made a ton of sense. I would have loved to see that journey, but we get it as an aside. You know, so it's just it's stuff that's like, man, this was really interesting. Or like, to your point, the idea of like, what do we do with dinosaurs? They're here, like conservation versus, annihilation. Again, we got it like specified to they are on the island though. Like, what do we do when they're here?
Right.
Again, what does a farmer do? What does, the Navy do when a mosasaur is like, oh, this ship looks like a bath toy to me, That's interesting. And we skirted a lot around all of that.
What happens to the Yellowstone ecosystem?
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
National park system alone.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Now you've got new predators that have come in. And like Chris, like you said, they have to feed an abnormal amount. They're going to wipe out bison, right? Mm-hmm. If they wipe out bison, what happens to the bear, the cougar, the wolf population?
Right.
Like, but that can't all breathe. Yeah.
And if they had that film about that, it might legitimize some of the themes that this new film started with, that like they couldn't survive. They couldn't survive not because the air was toxic. Like, how is it toxic for them and not for us?
Well, they didn't say that. They just said like the atmosphere wasn't like conducive for them.
Right. But that was kind of like
non-specific. Again, they sensationalized it to a point where you're like, okay, well, that's a bit extreme, but I like get that this isn't their climate. This isn't what they were like designed to survive in.
Except that like, that's like, if you know anything about dinosaurs, like that's super not true for a lot of these species. Like the T-Rex was like the US and Canada was like where they were, like North America. So it's like, that's true for some.
Yeah. But like our environment isn't exactly like it was.
Right. No, I know. I get
it. It's also convenient that it's a plot point now and not like when Jurassic Park was there, Jurassic World.
God, I think we've gone around and around, and we've just legitimized 2 additional films. God help us all. In the middle, like a new, like they did 3, and now they need to do 1 and 2 of the third trilogy.
I think.
What have we done?
I think, to me, what you guys are saying would work well. It reminds me of when Halo 4 was coming out, and I think it was 4, and they had this podcast series leading up to the game coming out, and it was great Like they were following this journalist and they were talking about like where Master Chief is gone and like, is he a traitor? And they were going through all these, and I got super hyped for the game coming out then and to continue that story. Because to me, I don't see myself wanting to see the movie that's how do we policy wise handle dinosaurs that escape into the city or are, but is through a series of like news things and whatever that you could listen to. I think that could be interesting to fill in the gaps. Because otherwise, if we do this sort of thing, to me, it's feeling like original Superman movie versus The Boys. You know, it's like there's two separate looks at dinosaurs genre, you know, and just as Superman is a type of movie, The Boys decided to be a different type of superhero show. And so if we take Jurassic Park and then we take a look at like, well, okay, here in the real world, because the other Jurassic Park movies, they have a lot of scary elements. It's about surviving against dinosaurs in the wild. It's man versus nature. Like that's the thrust of what happens in those movies. If the thrust of what happens in this is, well, we have to have a debate in, you know, Congress, or we have some series of people going on the news to go back and forth about how we handle this, that's a completely different type of film that I think could work as sort of a podcast series or something, but not as a film itself in this franchise.
But we did though. Like Fallen Kingdom, half the movie is Ian Malcolm arguing before Congress that like we've done all of these. No, it's like interspersed throughout the movie because like first they're arguing about the island and what are they going to do with dinosaurs? Are they just going to like wipe them out? Are they going to like leave them be? Are they going to rescue them from this volcano? Like, what are they going to do? So I actually think that could be interesting, and it's more at least some sort of philosophical debate, maybe not a policy debate, but something is very in line with the first Jurassic Park, where it was like, dude, what have we done here? We really need to take a hard look at the implications for this, like morally, ethically, you know, plus, you know, just logistically. But then, okay, if we decide like save the dinosaurs, we can follow like a farmer who's like, the government's like, yeah, you just kind of have to deal with it, figure it out, you know? Yeah. And it's his family and like a group of raptors are like, I really love your cattle, man. You know, I think you could do that plausibly and credibly without it being like, you know, a C-SPAN coverage of Congress debating dinosaurs.
Yeah, maybe it's like I could see a short film of that, because otherwise, as soon as you do, you know, like if you had a cool kind of smaller film about an individual struggle in that kind of thing, it feels like an old Western thing. Mm-hmm. Oh, people are coming in on my land or whatever. What am I going to do about it? Because I'm out here on the frontier, you know. That could be a cool small film. Mm-hmm. But people are going to, being part of this franchise, are automatically going to ask then, well, okay, so what is being done about this at large? Like we have to answer those questions. I think a separate film, not in this world at all, that would be a really cool film idea. Like for whatever reason, it starts and you think there's this farm and they're tending to their sheep and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then dinosaurs attack them. They're like, this could be
like a Rogue One or a Solo. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a trilogy.
I think you're asking for a
no. This could be like a Rogue One or a Solo. It could just be like its own interesting, like contained story rather than being. I don't see this as like a trilogy.
Yeah. No, I mean, I would watch that. You know, I would watch it. You know, I just don't know if it feels like it belongs in this franchise or not. But
I mean,
I think this franchise should be dead.
Yeah, I mean, I think they keep trying to recreate that magic that we felt when we were less than 10 years old or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Like you just can't you just can't recreate that, and you can shout it out as much as you want, but like at the end of the day, the type of movie that resonated in the early 90s and you compare that to the type of movie that resonates in the 2020s is just dramatically different. There's a different hunger for like action and special effects and other pieces.
I don't think I agree with that part. I was with you
actually
at first.
don't. Yeah, I don't, because actually the thing that resonated for me in Rebirth, I think the people who are making these movies are kind of like parodying now, because the moment that resonated for me was like seeing new dinosaurs. Do you know, but like regular dinosaurs that we already knew existed, like Quetzalcoatlus, or like Giganotosaurus. Like that was more interesting to me than like the hybrid aspect of this movie.
That was also stupid.
Which we also like, but we also like learned in the original Jurassic World, like people they thought they wanted to see like a new species like Indominus Rex, and then it wasn't like that good. Do you know what I mean? Like, and now we're creating like mutilated monster weirdo hybrids, and they're like this island of like misfit dinosaurs. Like, I hated all of that. I wanted to see just straight up dinosaurs.
Maybe what I'm trying to ask.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Maybe what I'm trying to ask about is like, take the original, wipe out all sequels completely, right? And like 2025 in the current, like, let's pretend that all the effects that the Jurassic Park series has had on film in general still happened, but it wasn't from Jurassic Park. So like the current status of movies is the same, and they take Jurassic Park and they make it for the first time in 2026. Like, how different is the film to appeal to the appetite of modern audiences? Like, what's different from the original to now? Like, I just think that they're pretty significantly different films. And maybe I'm wrong, and that's fine. But like, the first time that we see dinosaurs really on the big screen in that way is 2025. Like, I feel like it just doesn't resonate the same.
I think there's two things. I think there's two separate things here. I think one, if it's like with the original Star Wars, people will say you can never once you've had the original Star Wars come out and you blew people's minds with like, oh my God, I saw that in the theater. I can't believe what I just witnessed. You can't do that again. You can always do it for someone for their first time, but for an audience at large, you can't do that again. So when we first got dinosaurs, as realistic as they were, that hold up today in 1995 for Jurassic, or no, 1993.
Right?
Three.
We were five. We were five.
That still hold up today. That's incredible. Now people are, desensitized to like, we can have anything as possible on screen.
Right.
So you can't have that same sort of a magical effect of seeing dinosaurs in that sort of realism for the first time. You can't replicate that. But in terms of what audiences are looking for, I think audiences would probably resonate more with the movie. They're looking for the Jurassic Parks to come out. They're looking for those movies of that kind of caliber and quality. Like, where's Steven Spielberg been all these years making stuff? He's run out of gas, a while ago, like whatever. But, I just think that if that movie had never come out in 1993, and we didn't have the special effects we have now, and it came out today, I think people would lose their minds just the same.
Yeah, I know. I agree
we're
with
in
that.
a different place, like technology-wise.
Right.
That it's not
agree,
like the impressive thing.
Yeah, presume that all the technology advanced in its own ways for other reasons. Like, does it have the same resonant effect? Maybe it's because I'm a public school teacher and I just like have seen how attention spans have so dramatically decreased. And like the moral quandary doesn't resonate the way that it once did. It's like it's replacing with action.
I think that's a good point, Chris. And I don't know if it's necessarily Jurassic Park's fault with it, but one of the things I was thinking along those lines is like all of these movies from Fallen Kingdom to oh my God, what is this one even called?
Rebirth.
Rebirth. Thank you.
Maybe it didn't
Fallen
work.
Kingdom to from that, they all have morsels of a good story to them.
Yeah.
But the problem is that gets abandoned about a third of the way through every single movie for the same formulaic approach that we've seen since 1993. And that is what I think people are tired of, right?
Yes.
I want to say that, like, as a moviegoer and as somebody who loves the franchise, I'm tired of that formula. And I want those stories without the 2 kids, 2 adults running from people, right? I don't need that formula anymore, surviving that kind of thing. New formula, same kind of idea of which social things can we push and what natural evolution is going to be impacted by. But there's little girl and her dad and big sister into this movie where they have no place, no need to be a part of it. But the studio's so afraid of trying something without that. And I'm not even certain why that is, because they've never had one that failed without that, because they've never tried it.
Right. Right. And maybe to all of our discredit, like, they keep having enough success to continue making them. So
this one's doing quite well.
Yeah,
I think this one's doing pretty good.
But this one has so many of the same main strokes as 93.
Yeah.
Right. That I can see why. I mean, one of the best scenes in this movie is the water raft, the river raft scene, right? And I know that's lifted out of the book, but part of what makes that scene so good is it is just normal dinosaur in natural setting, chasing prey kind of a thing. Like and it doesn't have to be the family bond or anything like that that's happening there. It's the most raw chase scene that we've had since a T-Rex chased a Jeep. Like, that's why I think that part resonates, because we've gotten so, I don't know, maybe my whole point is backwards now because we've gotten so formulaic with it, but this is the thing that resonates best, is the closest thing to the first one. I don't know.
And so how does that scene resonate the same way with someone who doesn't have the emotional connection to the original that we do? Like,
see, I think it would.
Yeah,
because it's visceral.
I
do. It is very visceral.
Let me just say, like, this far into it, that I actually like this movie. So, like, for anyone that's like questioning, I went into this one thinking this is kind of a fresh start. Again, I didn't see the last one, and I enjoyed this movie. Like, I really didn't have a lot of problems with it. And I'm looking at, I like, we're going to talk about it, like you say, the genetically modified kind of mashups and stuff. That's like the one thing I really am not a fan of. I don't prefer that. Regular dinosaurs are cool enough and scary enough. And all that sort of thing.
I agree. Like, there's no improving on dinosaurs. Like, and I'm super tired of it being like more and more and more and more and more. Like, it's wild to me. Like, this D-Rex that we had as our hybrid main is like a weird mishmash of a dinosaur and alien, and I hated it. These are two things that I love very separately. Please do not put them together.
Derprex.
Yes.
Derprex.
Yes. I'm gonna call it that now. Thank you. That was what it was. It was
scary, but it stopped. It was annoying. Dinosaurs.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a dinosaur. It just it was like a thing.
I mean, look, I went into this, I guess I went in with, like, not high expectations. So that probably assisted my view of it, but I thought pacing was good. I was concerned that they just make Scarlett Johansson like this ultramarine unstoppable force. She wasn't that. They had characters that I thought everybody was believable enough in their roles. The scientist guy wasn't completely worthless, and it seemed like he was I like their kind of growing companionship with Scarlett Johansson's character. I liked also that Lee's character didn't actually die. It's like, We
I
had,
hated
it's
that.
like
I hated
not
it.
everybody has to die right
Yeah.
at the end of it. Yeah, I thought
I
that
hated
was
it.
like
It was
a little
flares.
surprise.
It was wildly unbelievable. That thing was 2 feet away from him.
It's
Like
a
we
dirt.
saw it. I know, but it like, come on.
Chuck
Like
a,
it was
chuck a flare down
so,
his
it
throat.
was so
That's why it
close.
went out. That's why it went out.
It was so close, and then he just like magically swims away. Like, no, did I need more death? No, like that's not the point. But it just felt like, really?
Long,
Like
long,
this is like,
long live
and-
the dirt bricks.
right? Seriously, like he couldn't find his prey in front of his nose. Like
No, I'm sure he could. I'm going to say he just shot him in the mouth with another flare and rolled into the jungle there, and he couldn't.
That's
see
what
him
I
then, and-
said.
But
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
show that
didn't like
then
that,
because
yeah.
it was so.
No, it's
it was a
drama.
surprise.
No, it was
Yeah.
so unbelievable to me. And then they like circled back with the boat with a giant light, and it was just like, "Rah, I can't get you." Like it was very anticlimactic for me to like build it up as this huge threat, and then it couldn't like finish the
Could you do
job.
that- could you do that
Again.
imitation-
The movie's
could you do that
not-
imitation one more time for us?
Shut up. Shut up. You're
The
not
movie's not
invited.
realistic, like obviously even the raft thing, it's like, okay, I don't know that I'd pull that raft out when the T-Rex is sleeping right there. That's
I know
a
it was so
little-
noisy.
Ballsy.
It was
Ballsy.
so noisy.
Yeah, ballsy.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
That's probably not a good call. The guy, he's taking a leak, and then the
The dinosaurs are
raptor
just like,
thing's
oh, hey,
behind
this
him,
guy's
and then
fine.
The
But then he just
Mutodon,
gets-
the Mutodon, right? It's the one.
Yep.
It's a hybrid that picks that thing off.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's like there's a lot of things not realistic or implausible. Like, really, you'd survive that. There's that kind of thing is there. But I just thought that if you're going into the movie for a fun dinosaur movie, they could have done a lot worse. There could have been
Sure.
annoying characters. It could have lagged in places. It could have been preachy. We could have had effects that weren't great. We could have had music that was either really trying to use way too much of the old stuff, or music that was way too different and
Mhm.
didn't evoke the same kind of feelings. It could have looked worse. It could have looked like a Marvel movie. I don't know. There's all kinds of things that this could have been really bad with. And I went in and it's like, it's kind of a fun roller coaster ride from beginning to end. It's like, it reminds me a bit of 3, where it's like, I don't know if I loved it.
Yeah.
I didn't particularly like the setup or what they did with Alan Grant and 3 and stuff like that. But it's once it gets going, it's kind of just a ride. And there's some tense moments and some cool shit. And like, I also did kind of like the idea of, hey, yeah, these dinosaurs, maybe, we had them on islands before that worked out. Now they escape the equator too far and they're not working out so well. And I do agree they should have like talked about like, yeah, they just don't have food. They're just going to starve. That obviously is probably a first thing first, maybe kind of thing. But yeah. So overall, is like thumbs up from me coming in, not having wanted to even see Dominion, really falling off, tired of Chris Pratt in there and all this stuff. And it's just a fresh start. Silence was like, oh my god, you're just so wrong.
No, like I started the podcast, like I give all of these more credit because like there's so much nostalgia supercharged, so it's hard to be unbiased. Like
Mhm.
I saw through the things that I hated, like I saw the genetic mutation things as kind of like an aside and a bit of a trope and a bit of a like meaningless storyline. I didn't need to see some sort of weird mutants running amok in this island. Like there was a story without all of that. It could have been the same dinosaurs we saw all the time, and it would have been fine. Like the same predators or different ones. God forbid a real dinosaur that actually existed. You could have embedded that, and it would have been a fun chase. Which I think, to your point, is kind of what 3 had. It was just introducing dinosaurs in different contexts that we hadn't explored yet.
Well, 3 did the thing
Which
better,
again-
right? The Spinosaurus.
right,
it
right.
did.
3, the Spinosaurus in 3 is their genetic mutation. It is their Indominus Rex. Like that thing doesn't look shit like a Spinosaurus. It's not, right? But it's the apex predator of that island. And they even touched on like the experiments that had gone wrong. Like they just did that better.
Yeah.
Yep. That's I think as someone who liked Jurassic Park 3 quite a bit, Still had its problems, still had its flaws, but I liked it quite a bit. That's, I think, why I didn't like this movie as much, because I already liked Jurassic Park 3. And I felt a lot of like reusing of elements here.
But I'll tell you a big issue with 3 that this one doesn't have, in my opinion, is there are some obnoxious characters in 3. The kid, obnoxious.
Oh, I love the kid.
Oh my god, I
like
really
that.
don't like
He's
kids
like-
in
he's
movies
like,
generally, and just
I actually, I mean, he's okay. He's not my favorite part of that
No,
movie.
sure, yeah.
Definitely, for sure. He's kind of like, he reminds me of Robin Williams from Jumanji if he didn't grow up yet.
Yeah, right. So that's
Right?
That's actually kind of like that's a good analogy. It's that's kind of like what I liked about that film. Like, I remember watching 3 thinking like, God, what would it be like trying to survive on that if you were stranded on your own? Like, what would you have to do? Like, that's a cool storyline. That's something we never explored. And it doesn't
but he's
have
a
to
kid,
be
and he would have been dead right away.
maybe.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be this big moral ethical quandary in every film. Like, you can just explore tiny little subplots, and you can make a feature film out of it and really kind of make it gripping.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be these flashy scenes.
Mhm.
Like, I think about like all of the ones after 2, which I think for me are up for debate. Do they need to exist or do they not need to exist? But I think about the moments that really kind of made me think about different layers of this, right? So like the survival on that island really was interesting to me for that little for the little kid after he was stranded. Like, I remember thinking like, holy shit, that is so scary. Like, you just parasailed in and the guy you were with is dead, and
Yeah.
you're just fluttering into this island. Like, what happens there? Like, I remember thinking that mattered. Like, I was curious about that storyline, even if that wasn't the point of the story. Like, and I remember thinking, I don't know, Jurassic World was a mix for me. Like, it was interesting.
The OG.
Yeah, no, yeah, the OG. But like,
Yeah.
then like for me, like Fallen Kingdom, like Andrew and I had like a moment where it's like, damn, that's so sad as you're watching all of these dinosaurs just like get burned alive in this like island as it falls apart. Like, that is a narrative too. Like, that mass extinction event, like, was a really interesting. It was just a small little part of the movie, and they kind of wasted it. Or, I mean, even I don't know. There's moments there. Like, I thought about the kid with the night vision goggles when she's dragging that raft, and it's like they're hitting some notes, in different spaces, and like those are the small little tidbits that resonate with me. And so it's like, I don't know. I know, Mike, you said you kind of talked yourself backwards in your point about like they're just kind of rehashing.
Yeah, I did.
No, I think we're back to our original point. Like, these movies, you know, beyond a certain point, like, all have really interesting nuggets that unfortunately get discarded.
Yeah.
Or are just too small pieces of the film.
In exchange for this corporate like flashy shit that no one actually really wants.
Exactly.
And they didn't come there for that. Like, they want to feel like the magic and the ethical dilemma and like the development of a unique element, a layer.
I think basically what we're saying is like, trust your audience. Yeah. Our point is like, we want this interesting stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we've all kind of touched on some of this to some level. I mean, obviously action is really great, and you know, dinosaurs are scary and we should see like cool stuff, but also like we can handle really interesting, you know, moral and ethical dilemma type of scenarios in our dinosaur movies.
It's an interesting thing, to John's point earlier, though, is that we're asking for that, yet these things are still making oodles and oodles of money, because my 10-year-old doesn't give two shits about the ethical dilemma. And when I was 5, I didn't know that was an ethical dilemma. And when they were talking about fleas, I didn't know what the hell was happening. And I was bored.
Yeah.
Right. When John Hammond is talking, I came to appreciate that as I got older. So the first one had a good blend of the wow factor for the little kid to watch and see big dinosaur, and enough of an actual plot, well-written plot, well-acted plot for adults to latch on.
That as an adult.
The new ones
that's
are real heavy.
That's
on the
why they're not going to
dinosaur
hold up.
real thing. Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess
Well,
for,
that's why I
and
don't want to
to
show
it-
my kids things that are too awful, like, because
Yeah.
they'll remember them fondly and have a nostalgic pull to them even later in life. Even if they, like you say, you can recognize some faults, you're like, oh, but I love, I still, so if I
Right.
show my kids Star Wars episode 7, 8, 9, they'll like it when they're adults, even though they might recognize a lot of its crap. So
they might.
let them make their own decisions, John.
You. I think they might, recognize like, ooh, they have more flaws than I remember, but they'll still feel more like softly towards it. Whereas, like, if you show them something quality, like,
Make them read the canon, John, and then let them decide for themselves.
To also to circle back to a valid point, John, you had.
Oh, okay. Well, now we're gonna do an ethical quandary if there was one.
Boy. Oh boy.
I guess for me, if I could send a message to like the creators of the Jurassic Park sequence, whoever owns the rights to that dynamic, like I remember, I was obsessed with Jurassic Park. Like it led to like an incredible consumer explosion of dinosaur things.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and we. Like, I don't know how popular in the, I know, right? I don't know how popular in the early 90s or late 80s, like, dinosaur paraphernalia was, but, like, obviously Jurassic Park had an enormous effect on that. And, like, I just want the message to be that, like, there's so much actual history and science there that you don't have to, like, jump off into these completely unrealistic scenarios with this like modern Frankenstein stuff. Like you don't have to go there, or at least you didn't have to go there so quickly. There's so much actual history and dinosaurs there that's worth exploring.
Yeah.
Which again is why I say it's like so
with you.
meta, because they learned that lesson in Jurassic World. Like
Right.
everything is running smoothly in the park until they try to go and like create this hybrid dinosaur, and then it all goes to crap. It's like that's like a meta lesson you can take into real life.
We gotta align this all though, right? Because I first of all, I'm with you. I didn't think we needed to do the hybrid dinosaur storylines or anything like that. I love real dinosaurs. Most people do. I'm all on board with you. And when these trailers first came out showing Derp Rex, I was so pissed. Because I'm like, no, I don't want that. Give me Battle at Big Rock, right? Give me that. But instead, I'm getting Derp Rex. Now I'm starting to come around on it a little bit. These hybrid things, they were the failures, right? This isn't something that they did after Indominus Rex. And if you've watched Camp Cretaceous, like I have, whether you wanted to do it yourself or because you have kids, the Scorpio Rex, right? That's another
and
one.
there's nothing wrong with pretending something is for your kids, and it is for you. Bluey.
Nice. So I like the concept of failed experiments. Even in the books, they talk about they didn't get this right.
Yeah.
Immediately. You don't get genetic mutation and alteration and look at the things that have happened with CRISPR. You don't get those right. And I'm good with that. But I do want that to be its own thing, address it itself.
Right.
Well, yeah. So see, I think you're hitting on a key difference. Like, I would be so interested in watching what happens, like in the struggle to actually get to T-Rex.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? I don't need like cross pollination and cross species. Like, let's just like see what happens. We've already made it.
Let's make a soup and see what kind of disgusting shit we can create.
I don't want you to already have the cool dinosaur and then just like play around with its DNA. It is so much more interesting to me to be like, where are our actual genuine failures in our efforts to make a dinosaur? Do you know what I mean?
Think
that is so
D-Rex,
much more interesting.
That's what D-Rex is supposed to be, in my opinion, because it has.
So
I think it is. Okay, I'm gonna make it headcanon if it's not, because it's the way that I got through this movie. Because it's got portions of the T-Rex, but it doesn't look like a hybrid of, you know, a
Right, but
T-Rex
like,
and a raptor.
but like the
or
little,
anything
the
like
little
that.
like crayons on the chambers of other stuff was like pterodactyl raptor. You know what I mean? Like they were trying to like f around with
Nah.
some other stuff. So
Okay.
like,
Yeah, I don't need that either.
sorry.
Maybe we just want
really
maybe we just want Derp Rex to look a little bit more like a T-Rex, just like really long arms, stupid knuckle dragging arms, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, make it look like you got too much frog in your T-Rex.
Right.
Exactly. Like that is interesting.
At first, when I saw the
T-Rex
T-Rex
size thing hopping like a frog.
Yeah.
So let me know if any of the rest of you had the same reaction, but like I think it was just because it was playful and kind of cute and it was a weird setup, but like right before the raft scene and the T-Rex was laying in the grass, I wasn't sure if that was just a regular old T-Rex or if we were looking at something else.
Yeah.
Because it was behaving in a way that like we hadn't really seen before. It was like scratching its back in this grassy area. I'm like, what's going on here? Is this like a normal predator we're used to seeing?
But it doesn't look that far off.
No, yeah. So like I think it was supposed to just be a regular old T-Rex, but like I don't know if any of you else had that reaction.
It was supposed to be a regular T-Rex that was too big. It grew too large and it was too aggressive, according to crap I've read online.
Okay,
I'm not just and so this was everything that they couldn't put in the park, right? That's what this island is, just everything they couldn't put in the park for one reason or another. And that one, you know, like you can see, he's got like a iguana-esque, you know, scales on the side of his chin and whatnot. He's really big.
So he can swim.
Right.
Yeah, swim was creepy. I'm like, that's when I thought like this is a hybrid again.
Right. Hard to contain it then too. Right.
Yeah.
You know. So I liked the sun basking aspect, like seeing what it would. Yeah, exactly. And like,
well, and
it's
like
an animal. It's not always trying to eat something.
Just like seeing the bear sleep against the glass in the zoo. It's like, oh, that's kind of funny. Like,
well, and it's great because that's like such a great part of like we had to like splice some, you know, like lizard DNA and all of that stuff. That's what they do. You know, so that's like, you know, it's very characteristic of warming like warming itself in the sun. Like it's very characteristic of what these animals whose genes they had to splice in do. So that to me again is far more interesting than like, hey, we made some failures on the way that are, by the way, a lot scarier. Like that T-Rex was a lot scarier than Derp Rex. Which is our mishmash of like, you know, let's just throw together some DNA cocktail and see what we can make. Maybe it's going to be scary.
Let's get 60% of the way to Godzilla. Like,
again, like I feel like the wrong choice is doubling down. Like Indominus Rex singular was scary. Like the idea of like just creating new stuff and that whole quandary, like we've got the park running so smoothly. Like, you know, we finally figured out the secret formula to dinosaurs commercially. It was all so interesting. And then having it be effed up because, oh, now, you know, we got used to dinosaurs and we need something scarier. The one time that works one time. And I feel like the problem of the following movies is they doubled down on this and it doesn't work.
Yeah. My one biggest kind of going off of that, my biggest issue with the film is the whole notion that, well, people are used to and tired of dinosaurs, so therefore we can't make money on anymore, and that's it. And to me, it's like, well, zoos still exist with normal animals. We just went to a different zoo today. The kids love it because there's always going to be new kids, and they're always going to be excited about, you know, sometimes they're most excited about just the regular bird that's not part of the thing that just flies across the path. Whatever, you know, whatever. Animals.
Takes generations, centuries to like water down that like
wonder and awe. Yeah.
Right. So I don't buy that for a minute. Now, do you have the same sort of explosive growth? Of course not. When dinosaurs and genetic engineering came out, then it's a new sector of business. Boom, major expansion and growth. Well, you're not going to have that forever. Like that sector is in here now, and so now it stabilizes. Right, but it doesn't mean oh, well, kids are, I imagine the Toy Story. The kids just has all the dinosaur toys. These just suck now. And like, they're just throwing them away or something like that. No. So I didn't buy that part because that's, to me, was what the studio is thinking. Yeah. Audiences are like the people we're putting in the world here. They're used to seeing dinosaurs on screen. They're tired of them. So we need more. What do we need? More of something crazy. And so just when you want to talk about meta, I feel like it's the same kind of
they kind of reveal they kind of reveal the game there.
Yeah. Which again works I think once with like Indominus Rex. It worked ish. Like exploring the idea of like, oh no, this isn't good enough. We need to make it more scary was an interesting concept, and they did it well. But they can't just like keep doing that same thing. We've already got that. Like, we need to make scarier dinosaurs. It failed. Like, let's just show other dinosaurs.
The thing that would be like, if they really brought dinosaurs back, that would be most upsetting to me presently would be the idea that we're not actually seeing the dinosaur that existed 65 million years ago. Because we do have to, as they did in Jurassic Park, fill in the gene sequence gaps with frog DNA. So it's not the same thing. It is inherently different. And it's a way you can explain the differences of any of the dinosaurs in any of the Jurassic Park movies, because they have to fill in the gaps with something else. So to me, it's like the fascinating thing is bringing back actual dinosaurs. And even though we couldn't do that, here's at least our closest attempt. I have no interest in you just making some sort of freak amalgamation. Like, what good does that do me at all? Unless we're trying to make pets. We're trying to domesticate dinosaur pets, which would happen. They would, like make them so we can breed them in that smallest size.
Jurassic Park 8.
You'd have it'd be like the whole meme of like, you have this little like wiener dog, and then look at your ancestor, the wolf, where you've come.
Yeah.
And it would be that way with dinosaurs too. It'd be like, but
we've already got that in Rebirth. We have this like adorable little mini triceratops.
No, it's a real dinosaur.
But that's a real dinosaur.
I had to Google it, but it is.
I know. I'm just saying, like, it's already basically a pet.
Yeah. So it would take that species and breed it with all kinds of other things.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'd sell like hotcakes in America. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pink dresses on it right away. Yeah.
I'd bring one to the racetrack.
Oh yeah.
Mike's new videos. He's got his pet dinosaur in the car.
But they already had like the ring fighting sequence in Dominion where they're fighting each other.
Yeah.
Okay, so was this a movie a complete failure for everybody except for me?
No.
Yes.
No. What? Yes.
Yes.
Damn.
Really?
Not a complete failure, but I was disappointed in this movie.
Okay.
This is my favorite.
There were elements that I thought were really good, but I did have a lot of problems with this movie.
Okay, all right, Mike. You said this is your favorite one since the second one, since second
movie
world.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Third one, Taya Leone absolutely ruined it for me. All I wanted to do was jump through the TV, choke her until she was dead so that we could watch the movie without her. Absolutely ruined every aspect of that movie for me. And that sucks because I think the rest of it was
the last time you watched this, Mike?
Dude, I didn't rewatch it too many times. Maybe I've watched it twice ever. So even when I was little, I was like, just stop yelling.
Yeah.
It's okay. See that I'm gonna I guess be the only girl in the room. That's how I felt about Scarlett Johansson in this movie.
What?
Every 5 seconds she was like smirking. Like somebody would say something, she'd be like, like she had two expressions.
It was a lot.
It was so much. Like, I know John, you said you were like, I was worried they would just totally like have her be the stone cold mercenary, like unstoppable. She can take down anything. Yeah. Yes, I was glad that was not the case, but also like be a little more on the badass side. Like everything anybody said to her, even when she was talking about her partner dying, 2 seconds later, she was like, let's just like make some money, live our life. Like, she is a better actress than that. She is. She genuinely is. And I just was like,
It's bad
really,
scripting. Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
it was bad scripting, and she didn't do, I think, nearly enough with it.
I just felt like
Equal blame, but she was very frustrating in this movie for me.
I just felt like so many characters were so typecast in such a predictable way in a role, and like I could almost start writing their lines for them. Like,
Yeah.
I found the scientist to be compelling, and for me, like, he was the only person that I ever really felt like, you're a guy I want to like listen to talk more. I still don't know what the hell that family was doing there or why. Like, what a shitty dad. Like, what is he doing? Like, oh yeah, we're just sailing around. Like, you're a navigator. You know you're supposed to be in this like international global no-fly zone. Like, give me a break. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
So I didn't totally know what to do with that. Like, the premise of like this like incidental, this isn't a big thing, but this is an incidental like piece, like people who didn't know what was going on, people who did kind of collide, like they did that in Lost World a little bit really well, like two different groups of people kind of colliding in their purposes for why they were there, and very, very different reasons. I did not find characters at any point particularly compelling, but I did find the storyline worth watching. Like, I would see it again maybe for that reason, but not for the characters. I agree with Andrea Johansson. Like, I've seen her do so many good things. I felt like
this wasn't it.
That's a big get at this moment. Like,
she's
after
the most
after 6 movies, like, that's a good
actor
big get.
ever.
Yeah, that's a big
she's
get.
made more money than any actor ever.
Yeah, so I just felt like, man, underutilization.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's number one. She took over Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah.
Don't worry. Samuel L. Jackson's got like 40 new movies coming out. He'll just he'll make up the difference.
I saw the list recently. There's only like 2 people on there that aren't Marvel stars.
Sure.
One of them is Tom Cruise, and I can't remember the other one. So.
I look back, and maybe this is unpopular, but I look back
it's gotta be
at.
Oh yeah. He's got to be up there. He's got to, if not be in there, he's got to be like 11 or 12 or something.
Hard to segregate his acting work from other work, though, too.
Still, though,
That's true.
He's in a lot of stuff, and he is well paid.
Yeah. I guess for me, like, maybe this is my unpopular opinion of the night, if that's John's. The more I think about what I watched in Fallen Kingdom, I like it more.
Okay.
Like, and it wasn't rooted in the nostalgia of seeing the people that not the people that I like coming back, but like
that was Dominion.
Yeah, right. I didn't really care about Pratt, and like I was really interested, but like I found some of those storylines kind of interesting, and the destruction of these original islands like that. I found that kind of compelling, and maybe I'm blending those two together, like I did that earlier, that like Fallen Kingdom and Dominion melded together because we watched them in like consecutive days. So
yeah,
I'd have to watch it again. So like, Okay. Well, yeah, actually, that you say that, Mike, it's interesting because it kind of shows how low you think of all the rest of the films, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
There's dog shit.
But
it's a hot take.
I'm kind
hot
of
take from Mike.
I'm kind of on that same page though too. I love the first one. I love the second one, and then this movie to me. This and 3, I'd have to watch both again to decide 3 or this.
They are very similar.
And
you
then,
guys all book readers. Did you read the Cretan's original material?
Yeah,
Cretan's original material. Yeah,
I've only read like half of the first book. So.
Sure.
Yep.
I read both of the books. It's been a really long time, but I read them because I was compelled to after watching Lost World, and I think it was my dad probably who told me like, "Oh yeah, that cliff scene is right out of the book."
Yep.
And I'm like, books?
Yeah, that's it.
So I went and got them, and
the movies definitely sent me on like a Michael Crichton like reading spree. So I got introduced to a lot of his work.
Yeah.
But yeah, the books are great.
Michael Crichton, he was like 6'8" or something. 6'6". He was a giant man. Michael Crichton was.
Oh, sorry. I was like, what are you?
Is he a hybrid?
Yeah.
Derp Crichton.
maybe.
Derp Crichton.
Mhm. Aw. All right.
We obviously kid.
Yes. Yes.
I will say
okay. Well,
Dominion will forever
Ooh.
be the absolute worst.
Hmm.
Dominion
Yeah.
is the absolute worst on sheer principle, if nothing else, because the goddamn movie was marketed as Dinosaurs in the Wild. And then
True.
we got 4.5 minutes of it
Yeah,
in the intro.
that's true. Fair.
Yep. And I'm like, I can't believe I paid for this. I'm so pissed right now.
Yeah. I completely agree. I would 100%. I think in general, I mean, John not seeing Dominion withstanding, I think he would just trust us to be like, we're all agreed on the polls of these movies. Like 1 is 1, and I guess 6 is the last. 6 is 7. So
Mhm.
best and worst. And then I think we have
Mhm.
differing opinions, perhaps, on the middles.
Before you came on, Mike, we were talking about how like I found some of the like this technology getting loose, like with the locust thing. Like that was an interesting storyline for me. Like I was curious about some of that. Like that could be kind of an offshoot, but it didn't really feel like it fit in the sequence. Like it wasn't really a Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Film.
Agreed.
And it's a bummer because all the really cool people came back.
Right.
Like that was their reunification, and it wasn't really a dinosaur movie.
Yeah. You could do it as like the way they did Ballerina, a John Wick
Yeah.
universe.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure. For sure.
Yep. Yeah, marketing matters. It's really hard when you go in with a certain set of expectations and something just hits totally different. And you're like, excuse me?
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
disappointing.
Yeah. No, that's killed plenty of things. I mean, I think that was part of when I brought up Halo earlier. It was the same sort of thing. A lot of people were expecting a certain thing when Halo was coming back, and they didn't get it. And the movie Argyle I watched recently. I've watched it again recently. Same kind of deal. People went in thinking it was one thing, and I get that they wanted to keep it a surprise. But you need to have people come to the theater, and if they're really expecting the one thing and they don't get it at all, that's a recipe for disaster. So,
Yep.
Yeah, totally. Well, we should all, if you have any more pitches for Jurassic Park future movies, because we know there will be them.
Oh yeah.
Make sure that you write it down, bring it to us. I was thinking Prisoner Island sort of deal. Like you have some country, take your pick, Colombia, whatever. They've got overfull prisons. They want to get rid of some people. And so they just put them on an island that's known to have dinosaurs. Put them out there. And I'm thinking like a movie like Predators. I'm thinking Predator or something like that. And there are these
Hunger
people
Games.
that probably going to
That's
kill
what I was
each
thinking.
other. But Hunger Games, something like that. But they have no weapons, no resources, nothing. And so any normal dinosaur that's out there is a threat. We don't need to have anything weird. They don't have it, whatever. And it can be a kind of smallish film. Man versus nature. I would absolutely take that. It doesn't connect to the rest of it anyway.
This is like a reality show, John. Somebody would do this, but put cameras on it to make money.
Oh,
Yes.
like a Blair Witch style.
Yep.
Cameras jiggling around as you GoPro it through the silence.
Yeah, they've all got the
this-
Insta 360 right here.
Yeah. But I mean, you would have that, plus you would have, it's like what's the one where they go hunting and they
Alone?
like see it. Jurassic World, where they have like the SWAT team trying to take out Indominus Rex, and they're all like, they all have GoPros and whatever, and as Indominus takes them out.
That's 3, yeah.
No, that's 4.
Or 4, I mean, yeah.
So it'd be like that, except for like it's not SWAT teams trying to take out a dinosaur. It's literally them just like wearing a GoPro as people watch, but also you'd have like professional cameras just floating around.
Talk about ethical quandary.
That's what I'm saying. That would be
a Doctor Who episode.
That would be a great ethical quandary.
Dinosaurs in space. That's my pitch.
Yep, you're a different planet. It's the year. It could be the year 4250.
I also want to die.
The doctor goes up and they're
Velociraptor with a NASA suit or bust.
We already had a dinosaur in Victorian London. And that
which was an awesome
Oh,
episode.
yeah.
I was just gonna say I've never watched a single episode of Doctor Who in my life, but I play Magic the Gathering, and they did a Doctor Who set of Magic cards. And as a person, they also did a Jurassic Park set of Magic cards. And my son and I collected the Jurassic Park one, and it was awesome. We made dinosaur decks. It was great. And then they did it with Doctor Who, and they brought out Flaming Tyrannosaurus.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it's in London or something. And I'm looking at this like, what the fuck is this? Like, Leo wants. I'm like, no, get that crap out of here. That doesn't count. Oh man.
All
Dinosaur
right.
crossovers.
Well, Mike, we gotta plug your channel here.
Oh yeah.
Let me know.
Oh, yeah. I gotta do
let
some
everybody know where they
uploads.
can find you.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube at TrackMouse34. I'm on Instagram at Track_Mouse. Be uploading some Road America content from this past weekend. A lot of trials and tribulations of that crap. So it was a rough weekend, but I'll put videos up anyways. So it's all good. Comes with the hobby.
Yeah, and you should also check out his. I think I talked about it last week. Where you should check out Mike's interview with Grid Life.
Mm-hmm.
Did an interview last week, and yeah, you did a good job there.
Thank you. Grid Life on YouTube. Yeah, they're doing little every Tuesday. They do. They're interviewing 2 different drivers from within the classes of Grid Life. So.
Yeah, it's you did a good job. I had to say, I mentioned to Andrea how I understood where we rank because you unveiled your brand new background. Not here, but yeah.
So it was actually because we were doing that one. The reason that actually happened was we were doing that one at like 7:00 or something like that. And Leo was going to be upstairs in the shower getting ready. So I was going to have a ton of background noise. So I came down here into the office. And it happened to work.
Here, I thought a dinosaur was going to pop out of the ferns at some point.
Clever girl.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Missed opportunity.
I was gonna say we all thought it as soon as Chris said ferns. We were like, clever girl.
But I did move the computer down here just for you, right?
Oh,
okay.
Perfect. Excellent.
And I'm going to move it right back upstairs when I'm done.
Okay. Well, Mike, thanks for being here. Chris, thanks for being here as well. It's been quite a while. So glad to have you back on. What's that?
I said that was so Minnesotan. Oh yeah, you bet.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it's hard to resist now. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then it makes it worse because our kids hear it from grandparents, and then I repeat them, and it's just this endless vicious cycle of Minnesota.
It's called culture,
things.
John. It happens to think
Sure.
it's all right. We've all got
And
it.
then Andrea, thanks for being here as always. And
Of course.
that's about it. Everybody make sure you like, share, subscribe in all the applicable places. Again, we're live now on YouTube, X, and Twitch. So any of those places are good. Typically, our podcast goes out, Popcast on the Rocks, on podcast directories of your choice. The video version is available on Spotify. You can leave us a review on Apple. That'd be appreciated. Again, check out Mike's channel. Check out Killing the Flower. They wrote our main theme song. They're on music streaming services. And you can find Peter J. Gilbertson's books at Amazon.com. I think those are all the things pretty much. Otherwise, we'll be back probably next week with, I'm guessing, an anime episode.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about some anime. And until then, everybody, see you later.